What a beautiful day again. More snow. I mean, at one point, that snow's gonna melt. At one point, hopefully. After that, people wonder why I left Quebec. Might be a little bit because of the winter. Stay forever. From November to all the way in April, we have a lot of snow here in Quebec. And I love snow, but little dose. And right now, it's good. I'm good. No more snow. I'm gonna have to shovel the front. Too much snow right now. My smoke alarm just started. Must be a false alarm or the carbon monoxide alarm. I don't know which one yet. Oh, it just stopped. I'm gonna still stop and just make sure everything is alright in the back. So the carbon monoxide and smoke detector is here. I don't smell anything, and my electrical is underneath here. Things are good there. Lights are good. You cannot probably not see, but I can see them from there. So it's probably because it's been a little while that I didn't start the van, and everything is cold right now. You can tell my cameras get a little bit like a hard time even. It's not like freezing cold, but it's been a little bit of time, and because it's really damp right now, it's a mix of snow and rain. Yeah, I think it gave like a really false alarm inside. It's only 3 degrees right now inside the van, so it was most likely a false alarm. It's okay. We don't mind. It happened a couple of times that I had some false alarm. This is the first time this year I changed my smoke alarm. I had another one that I end up throwing away, to be honest, because it was giving me a false alarm all the time. But at that time I also didn't have a heater, which I think really like creates some problem with the little battery inside those one here. So that's probably what happened right now. It's been a week and a half that the van's not really warm. I slept once or twice inside the van so far for the past week and a half. So the heater, like, I didn't use it that much, so it's been quite cold. So I think this is the problem. So, but I don't smell anything, and I don't really have any carbon monoxide problem here. I'm pretty sure it was a smoke alarm anyway. But I only have like small little butane and anything. And I know, by the way, that carbon monoxide doesn't smell, but yeah, it was a false alarm, I'm pretty sure. But it's always good to stop and make sure everything is good. Not a big deal. Today I wanted to talk about a couple of things with you. I receive pretty much every day in my comment section question about my high roof, so I want to answer as much as possible those questions. So if you are thinking about putting a high roof on your van, you have the plus and the minus and everything in between about that subject. And because it's not the greatest day, I think I would just like drive to my little town that I grew up in, that I went to school. So we're gonna drive a little bit and show you that in the same time. So there you go, we are in a beautiful little town, Saint Augustin de Desmaures. The church right here, beautiful church. And let's just go there and show you this beautiful place. So yeah, all around Quebec we have a gorgeous church here, by the way. They kind of renovate this one. And on the front here, this is my high school. No, this wasn't high school. This was school. So grade 1 to 6. And this was grade 1 to 3 and 4 to 6. So yeah, a little bit different of most people. Most people go to grade 1 to 12, I think. Here I work like grade 1 to 6, and after that you go to high school, which is start back to 1 to 5. Which kind of go back to the same point. But yeah, not a memory. It's been like I never drove here. It's kind of great to have YouTube sometime, kind of force you to do those type of things. If you wonder what kind of student I was really shy. No surprise there. But grade 1, the first year, grade 1 and 2, I was a little devil. I got in trouble a couple of times. I was I wanted to make my place type of person, and after that I got a little bit more quiet. Overall quite quiet though. And I was all dressing in black at that time, which, I mean, it's not so much different anymore, I guess. But at that time I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want a teacher to see me. Yeah, I was really like quiet as possible because I didn't want any teacher to see me. I had a hard time at school. If you don't know, I had dyslexia. Yeah, there you go. So I was super shy, and I didn't want any teacher to see me, and I didn't really want the people at school either to see me, which is quite funny because my good friends sometimes they talk about people, you know, the guy. I'm like, which guy? You know him, he was in your class. And I'm like, oh yeah, he was. I don't remember for some reason so many memories of my school. I think like a part of my brain didn't want to remember things. So yeah, so many people and names especially, and situation and things like this that I don't remember because yeah, I guess I didn't want to remember it. So we're gonna stop here and I'm gonna show you a couple little things about my high top van. So like I mentioned, I do get a lot of questions about my high top. A lot of people are curious, so I'm gonna try to answer as much as possible. But if I forgot anything, you can ask me your question in the comments, and I'm gonna try one by one to answer as much as possible about the high top. Because yeah, like I said, every day I must get some questions. So first question, the company, like when I purchased the van, it was a low roof, so I installed the high top. It's not personally me, but I asked someone to install it. And the company that is here in Canada that is quite popular, I think, is Turfboard. So this is the company that I use. They are in Delta, BC, and I think they have other like little places across Canada, but the one that I went was in Delta. It's not a sponsor, I wish, because I send a lot of people in that place. So the inside of the van, it is 6 foot tall. The back is a little bit taller, it's 6'4". So this is quite tall, as you can tell. I have plenty of space. Yes, I'm only 5'2", but still plenty of space. And like I say, in the back, a little bit taller, 6'4". The price, I'm gonna tell you the price that I've done, but that was almost 3 years ago. So the best idea would be to go to their website and see My guess is they probably increased the price. So the high top plus 2 side window, which I highly recommend. I love my side windows. If you don't know, I've been talking about them all the time. So I think the 2 side window were like $200 each, and the high top and everything cost me around a little bit more than $4,008. Quite expensive, yes, but that bring you to a high top van. So that increase your price, your revalue if you want to sell your van. It should at least. But yeah, I've done it mainly because I do have back problem, and after sleeping for 1 year in my car, I think I was like, I didn't spend 1 year for nothing. I wanted to have my van, my dream van if you want, and I really wanted to be comfortable, be able to, you know, like cook. Especially I love to cook, you know that, which was a major decision, you know, to putting the high top. So I don't think a low roof would be, you know, less than a van, you know. I will still feel home, but I really like my high top. And if you want to know the question, would I have done it again if I purchased another van? Yes, I will most likely put another high top. I just love the inside. I love especially the big windows, feel the opening if you want, and that also increase, probably double your living space and your storage. I didn't put any storage on the side there, but obviously a lot of people do it. I just don't need it personally. I don't have that much storage, but yeah, it just opened up the space so much. So to install the high top, that took them less than 8 hours. So it's not that long. Kelly was at the cat boarding place because I didn't want to, you know, walk with her for 8 hours. So she was at the cat boarding, and I was just waiting for them to finish at the little coffee place. And yeah, it took them 8 hours. The main reason is they have to wait that the glue is completely sealed if you want before we can drive it. So this is the main thing. A lot of people wonder if I had any water leak. So far so good, no water leak. And because they really bend the roof if you want, there's not so much like way that the water can go inside. So they put a seal, they screw things together, and they bend the roof, which means not so much water can go inside the camper. At least I didn't have any problem. I know some older campers, sometimes they do get problem. I don't know at that time how that was made, but right now I have no problem. So the downside of having a high top, obviously there's some, you know, nothing is perfect. So one of the problem is when you go to get your van washed at the car wash, sometimes it's a little bit complicated. Sometimes this is the only time when I really have to be super careful of the height. Go online to see, you know, the base seems to be quite high and all this. When you go at the garage, some garage, especially in a small town or the little guy, you know, this backyard almost, sometimes he doesn't have the opening for the garage to go inside. So this is another option. Never been really big problem for me, but it's always something that I have to keep in mind. Also in the backcountry, especially, I have to be careful of all the trees and things like this to not break my high top. Never really been a big problem because I usually don't go in those super small trail where, you know, branch and tree are felt and all of this. You know, I try to stay in the main dirt road because I don't have so much recovery gear, and I don't want any problem, and I want, if something happened, then hopefully someone's gonna pass and help me. So that's why I stick to those bigger off-road road. But yes, you have to be careful to make sure you don't break anything. And another problem with the car wash, it is a pain in the beep to try to clean the actually high top. I'm small, sometimes they do have smaller little ladder, little extension, but it's almost impossible to actually clean the top of the camper. It's okay, it's not a huge deal, but when I polished the top of my van last couple months ago, I could tell that was a little bit dirty, and that was great to do that. So I might polish the high top every year just to remove all that sand and everything that is stuck to the actual fiberglass of the high top. So another little problem, and this is mainly if you live in Canada or somewhere cold, is a little bit complicated to insulate the high top. I could have done a way better job. It is a little bit more complicated because I do have those two side window, which obviously the window is gonna bring some cold air, but as well because I had like just a small little amount of gap between to put insulation, so I only have reflected, which is pretty much nothing. If I do another camper, I'm gonna try to figure out another way to insulate a little bit more, but yeah, this is a little more complicated to insulate the high top itself compared to low roof van. So keep that in mind, especially if you live in a cold area. You may want to think about how you're gonna do it. So if I was to do another camper van, like I mentioned, I will definitely put another high top. I love it. I love the space. I love being able to stand up and cook. It is a big investment, so think twice. If you do have a quite brand newer camper, mine is 2011. I think it's worth it because you're probably gonna have that camper hopefully for several years, so it can make the investment a little bit better. Obviously, we never know what can happen. You know, my van can totally break down and you know, be a total loss. But I feel like if you have a really old camper, maybe just stick with the low roof. What's going on with this winter? Still snowing. So I hope that covered all your question about the high top. I'm gonna put everything in the description so you have a better understanding. If you do have any question, let me know. I'm gonna try to answer as possible. And we're gonna go drive again a little bit in this beautiful little town where I grew up and show you a couple of little places. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye. This school was the high school, grade 1 and 2, so only the beginning of the high school. Yeah. Great memories here.